Call a meeting to order and let the record reflect that we do not have a quorum, so we will not be doing anything that requires a vote. However, why don't you go ahead and take the roll for those who have decided to attend. James?
Yes, sir. Mayor Minto.
Here.
City Manager Wendy Casterman. Here. Sheriff's Department Captain Hernandez.
Here.
CASA Rebecca Brandstetter.
Here.
And Dr. Mark Foreman.
Here.
We do need 3 more members for a quorum, Mayor. If they do show up, we could then take action. Otherwise, we're good to go.
Okay, sounds good. And so let's go to item number 3 then, since we can't do item number 2, and get an update on Neighborhood Watch and crime prevention.
All right. So as of right now, we have no new request for any neighborhood watches. We do have a coffee with the community coming up this Thursday, the 12th. It is going to be held at the Starbucks on Mission Gorge inside of Target, and that'll be from 10 a.m. to noon, so we hope to see you all there. I've been focusing on law on targeting senior communities in order to schedule and deliver fraud presentations. You will be hearing one from us today, but we feel that that's really important based off of what we have seen with scam reports and who they're targeting. So I am working to deliver that. And we're also closely working with schools to deliver e-bike resources, which have been a common concern for the community. And we've been doing proactive community engagement by participating along with our COPS unit in the senior fitness activities and events. So we've been doing senior walks. We've also been starting to join with the teen center. So that is all that I have. Crime prevention.
Well, you may find it interesting. Today I went to a meeting where Summer Stephan, our district attorney, gave a presentation on the fact that she's creating a elder fraud unit. It's a real task force that has multi-agencies, and the idea is to go stronger after those who are preying on our elderly, and also to do more marketing in the way of prevention to tell people, listen, if you get something in the mail, you get an email or something, and you've never seen it before, don't trust it, even if it turns out to be real. Let's say it's from your bank, go to your bank and ask them.
Yeah.
Don't call them on the phone and ask them, because that phone number they probably put on there for you is probably the scam phone number also.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's going to be real promising. So I look forward to hear and see more about that in the future. And we could probably partner up with them some way to help get out the information, whether it's through our TV channel or something like that.
Yeah, and that's why we're excited to present today. We think the prevention is key in this aspect. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yep.
Thank you.
Great. You're welcome. Thank you. All right. Anything else down there from the guys and gals in uniform? Okay, then. We have a San Diego County Sheriff's Department presentation on fraud and scams. Dang, what a segue. Who's doing that?
Both of us, my partner Anna here. Can
Oh, really?
Start us off, yes.
Great.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Anna Lozano. I'm part of the Sheriff's Office. I'm actually assigned to the fraud unit with the elder abuse unit. So I work with all the detectives. I'm a crime prevention specialist, as Jocelyn is. And today, yes, we're going to be talking about just the topic that you were mentioning, and everything you were telling me sounds very familiar. So we'll go ahead and...
That was an accident, by the way.
No, you're fine. You're fine. So the types of scams that we are providing the information to the community is the tech support scam, the lottery, romance scams, and investment scams. So this is what the types that we're seeing. Next slide. So we first start off with the tech support scam. So that usually is that pop-up that comes up on your computer and it's telling you, warning, your computer's infected, or, call 1-855 this. The first thing to do is never call that phone number, because that number is usually going to connect you to the scammer directly. So what we're advising is you can turn off your computer completely to remove it. It's not going to... your computer's not going to blow up or anything like that. It's just going to take that message away. But definitely do never call that number to connect you to the scammers themselves. And then when you do end up calling this number for whatever reason, you end up speaking to someone with high pressure, high stress, trying to convince you that your accounts are compromised. If you usually access your bank accounts, things like that, they usually say, oh, we need your passwords. We need your access to this so that we can save all your data that's on your laptop or computer. They convince you to give them money so that they can safeguard everything that's on your computer or laptop. And then they ask for money to be sent electronically. The ways you're going to see them ask for it is gift cards, or often people coming to pick them up to your home. And that's via Lyft, via Uber. And why are they asking for payments and gift cards and things like that? It's because they're not trackable. So if we try to search for these things, it's harder to track, like if you did a bank wire or things like that, a transaction through a bank. So things that you're going to be seeing, and I know we all get them, even ourselves, every day, is things like, we notice something suspicious. It can be directly from your bank saying, we notice some transactions in your account. Here, call this number so we can help you. And yes, the best advice is don't call that number, but go to your branch directly. We all are surrounded by our bank branches, so go directly to them. Or if you do really need to call a phone number because you can't get to your branch in the next hour, you can always get your credit card. There's a phone number on the back, and that's the number you should be calling. Never call the numbers on these text messages or things that pop up on your computer. We're also getting it a lot with your Amazon packages. You get that email of, we need to confirm your address, or we attempted to deliver your packages and it wasn't able to do. Can you, go to this link, or can you provide more information? That's also a scam. And if that is happening, because we all have those purchases going on, go on your actual website on your phone, check on your account there, and call Amazon customer service directly from a number from their website. Another scam that we're seeing is the lottery scam. So you get the one where you won the Powerball, or you get a text saying you have been selected for a cruise. They start a conversation. It's usually an email informing you, or a text message. They ask for personal information, or maybe they ask for a deposit so that they can continue to get you to the gift, or they require you to pay a fee to release the winnings. So that usually can be an alert that, it's a scam, it's a fraud, and all that as well. Another one we're seeing a lot of, unfortunately, is romance scams. So how does this work? It's pretty much social media fake accounts that target lonely seniors. We've also seen seniors that go to the casino, and all of a sudden they meet a really nice person that wants to be friends with them, wants them to be lonely, but all of a sudden they start asking for money. They start asking for other ways of things that they gain the trust of a person, and then they get access to your account. So that's another one that we're seeing. So they'll tell them about a difficulty with a family, a financial hardship. They ask for money. They'll continue and take money. They continue to have access to those funds until the funds are gone. And then usually the victim catches up to and says, you know what, I can't do this anymore. Probably emotional, saying, oh, I can't believe you're not helping me. I really need that support. And make them feel guilty about not being helpful. And I've seen a lot of lost friends. All of a sudden that friend who went to high school with 3 years. Remember, all these pictures can be found online, so people can steal pictures from social media, anything there, and send a really nice email saying, hey, remember me? I need some support. My sister has medical bills, or my mother has an illness, and I need your help. Do you mind depositing some money for me and using that to connect you? What I recommend to do, usually, I know it's annoying, all those things, just delete and record it. If you get those calls from that same number, or maybe not even the same number, but now our phones are pretty savvy that they tell you scam and they block themselves. But if you can get a call from a number, report it, block it, remove it from your list so that they can call you from that. And then another scam we're seeing an investment one. And this is where they reach out via social media and they start with like a romantic scam, and then they post like a complicated, confusing, or unfamiliar investment plan saying, for example, using cryptocurrency, or for exchange, saying they're double the amount of money that they have, that you have invested. They gain the trust and present a opportunity for you. Well, that's actually unrealistic. It's not going to happen. And it turns out that the victim's money is never actually invested, but actually going into someone else's account, and they're using it for their own profit. And we call it, and because we're a border town, we get these a lot where like they clone the voice through artificial intelligence. They start a child calling grandma saying, "Hey, I got stuck in Mexico. I'm in jail. I need money." But it's actually the voice of your loved one, and that's artificial intelligence news. So we always recommend when these things happen, pick up the phone, call your loved one from your phone number you have. If it's a child or a grandson or someone younger, call them and say, "Hey, is Donnie okay?" Or is he in Mexico? Just call. Make sure you call an actual person, say on your phone, and not see the conversation on the phone because you can be working with someone in front of someone's voice. So hang up and call that family member and tell the loved ones whereabouts. Okay, most likely they're going to say yes, they're in school or they're at work or he's okay. And then another additional scam is the inheritance. You know, I'm like, oh, I have all this money, I'm about to die, do I give it to? Or your long lost relative has left this hefty inheritance and, you know, we need to transfer it to someone, I need more information so I can give all the need for it all goes away. I want to give you the opportunity to life. So that's another, it's usually a letter or an email or it can even be that phone call.
So a lot of information. A lot of types of scams that you're seeing. And answer some of those, sometimes that's just the number, call your loved ones to really ensure that you're talking to the correct person. I wanted to bring to some more resources that we hear with the mayor's office. These are flyers that we will give out to communities, is what we distribute. We have older use awareness and prevention. If it's an emergency, call 911. In order to report these, there's often a misconception in that and that we all can take these reports. You can go the pedestrian into your local sheriff's station or call the sheriff's office dispatches list on here, and they will be able to direct you to a deputy who can then take the report. By scanning QR code that we have right here in this side to the left, it actually will list you all of the stations that are in San Diego County. You'll be able to find the numbers, directions of those that are close to you. Additional resources that we offer, we work people to the FTC in order to further report some of these thefts or some of these scams. And it's also available to us. So go to the not call list. If I write www.donotcall.gov will take your number off. And the minute I know this call that you're getting directly. Cryptocurrency and scams. So cryptocurrency is a big popular thing nowadays. It's important that for those that don't know, cryptocurrency is essentially a digital currency that only exists online. So you're not seeing physical money. What makes this legal deal is that there is no legal protection such as credit cards. If you send money through cryptocurrency, you can't dispute it, but you'll be able to dispute a card charge. So it's often really difficult to get this on back, as we see with this, it's almost impossible to all that money to be able to reduce that money again. And then just another flyer, talking about the importance of deep fake audio calls. Artificial intelligence is becoming very popular. We're seeing it, technology heading up like we haven't seen before. And so with that, a lot of things such as those fake voice, fake, sounds like your granddaughter. And sometimes they do have just a simple hello, a few words. So they also say most of the calls, they could be recording your voice and then using into an AI website and then having created a conversation just based off of that. So I want from that to be important to share this knowledge with your loved ones, with your family, because that is how we prevent these things. There's a big stigma amongst our seniors about how they go about it. It's embarrassing for some when they lost a lot of money or think that they fall into a romance scam. But we're trying to stigma away that this is how a lot of people. And by doing so, talking about it, we get my things. So in order to protect yourself, never call a phone number that's provided in an or email. It'll directly connect you to a scammer. Don't click on those phishing links. Their phone numbers they don't recognize and never get anyone on you something. We as a sheriff's department, will never call you and tell you that we need money in order to avoid sending you to jail. It's not something that we do. We always say, if you are unsure, contact us at the station. We're more than happy to assist you know if it's fraud or not. So please utilize your services. We think really important to share this with the community. Because we're 100% or we don't want to be created by scams. And that is all that I have. Again, this is our sheriff's emergency phone number. I like to save this in my phone. It's just important to have. I save it under emergency. We also have the number to our elder unit. So if we have a someone who is being directly abused, such as care. And then you can also visit the station. I have a number on here. So if you don't hesitate to reach out to the call or just stop at the station, we're more than happy to assist anyone. Thank you, guys.
A real good example of that, big invention. Hey, Captain, do you remember that $100 you owe me? I can use that.
I get back to you, but you first.
No, I know better than that. That's a perfect example. Just come right back with it. Yeah, I already gave it to you. Thanks for playing. Let's see what I can do next. Any speaker slips?
Not on this item, sir.
Any comments? Any comments?
A lot of information here, so thank you. And one thing I'm noticing that you didn't spend time, very little time. The name of this is Elder Reviews, and most of the presentations are on the scams. For whoever may be watching, maybe we touch on the amount of elder abuse that occurs for family members, whether it's grandkids, nephews, extended family members, sons and daughters, or whatnot. And sometimes that also can not be physical or neglected. It can also go into the financial realm also. I know that's part of the presentation, but just adult protective services is listed on there as a resource and next there. So.
Yeah, because a lot of the time it's not just strangers that are doing this. So we need support to have, like you said, sometimes that come from family members, caregivers, resources. So that's why it's important that we have a number on there. If you know anybody that may be suffering from the hands of abuse, even if it's from a family member, that's on exactly what we see in that area. But yeah, it's an important thing to touch base on. That does happen. It's not just strangers that are causing harm, but it can also be internal members, close ones, so those that are close to you.
Thanks. And down here? Great. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right, let's go to, do we have anything on community core values update?
So before holidays, I had to meet with somebody that worked on the development of the community core values, and they had asked that at a future meeting I give an update on activities that happened over last year and sort of what's and more recently. A lot of those members meetings, so I think it probably makes sense to do this next month when I have an opportunity to be here.
Okay. Do you have questions on that or comments? Okay, thank you. Well, this is going to be a quick meeting today. So let's go to item number 6, which is communication from committee and staff members. Go ahead and start down this end. Rebecca?
Just want to let you know that the East County Homeless Task Force is having its in-person meeting on Thursday at the Elkham Library Community Room. It's from 1 to 2, and we're talking about encampment rescue programs. And Santee, of course, is on the tail end of fabulous programs, just about complete tied up. And then there's one going on in Lemon Grove as well. So I have some flyers that I put in the room, and I'm happy to share those around to some people. And the invite discussion is free, not an hour, guaranteed. Guaranteed.
The only thing that I have, I guess, is that on 2/25/26, it's Wednesday, I'm going to be a feature speaker with the Lighthouse Program and the Rescue Mission, and that's Central Vista. And let's see, what do I have? We did make a couple of, or at least one appointment to our kid. James, did you get contact on that?
I've reached out via phone, email. I haven't heard back yet, but I think there's somebody in the room that might be able to connect.
Yeah, I've appointed Gene. And so we do go through all the vetting and everything. Maybe she'll be here next month. Great, thanks. That's all.
Not specific to this committee, but last time we were talking about potential future items and the topics that came up with the cannabis update, and I think that we wanted to talk about that in here today either. But I did want to let the committee know we can update on the sample agenda, and we do have people at this point that have no permits issued, so they're moving along in the process.
Anything else for us?
I think you guys have heard enough from me. Thank you.
A couple things, sir. The first is I want to report that there was a statewide human trafficking operation last month between January 19th and 24th. Our local station was not involved in that, but the human trafficking task force did operate here in Santee. The goal of that operation was to arrest buyers, helping trafficking victims, and ultimately arresting traffickers. From there, that's the result of the operation, and that's not just for Santee, that's for San Diego County. There were 120 total individuals arrested. Of those arrested, 87 were for loitering, 25 for solicitation, and 8 for pandering. It says authorities heard those arrested in San Diego County, including Santee, National City, and San Marcos. The reason we want to bring it up is that the operation made news. Some of the comments in the news article said Santee was a hotbed for human trafficking, which I disagree with. I think the task force has a good relationship with courts, so they utilize that location for their operation, and the buyers will travel anywhere. So it to me that Santee is hot for this. So I just wanted to clear that up a little bit. The second item is on January 21st, we had a stretching to Santee. We had 13 motor deputies from various stations. They conducted a strike detailing the Santee and specifically targeted areas with high rate of collisions, citizen complaints regarding vehicle violations. There were a total of 84 citations issued. The most were for speeding, red light violations, full use, obeying traffic signs, equipment, unlicensed driver insurance, and yield insurance. And lastly, the last item I want to bring up is that this will be my COMPOC meeting. I've had a wonderful time here in the city, but I'm getting transferred as of February 20th.
Where are you going?
I cannot, but I've been told I'm going to either, there's 2 special education divisions. I'm going to go to one of them. So basically, I'm recovering in
You're vested in form of them.
I know, but that's where I spend most of my career, so I think I'll be pretty useful for those. But thank you for bringing this up. It's been wonderful, and I appreciate you.
You're welcome. You don't have to go big deep, but you can make sure still. So I also want to comment about that and making things. 2 things about it is because I used to do a lot of that in our fishing it, and it was a very difficult way back then. We were always looking for hotels to try and these types of details. I handle most of the prostitutions on the street, and so it was a lot easier for us. One of the things that was, I didn't want to say this because one of the things that was very difficult is when we had prostitutes working that were under the 18, picked up by men at any age over the age 18, soliciting prostitution was just a misdemeanor. You pick it, let go, whatever. And there's a movement right now, bill pending. I'm not sure if the governor signed it, but that makes that now any person that solicits a person under the age of 18 for prostitution is a felony. So that, well, you remember back in the day when we had to deal with that. And there's a trauma that happened at that age, regardless, should be different. So that's one good news. The fact that they had 8 options that they were pivoting and hindering was pretty good because those were done very easily in the old days. I mean, how long were you in evasion?
Probably a total of 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to prove and, file prosecuted.
Yeah, and the good part too is that a pimping and pandering has a mandatory, or back then had mandatory 18 months prison. Not time or anything, but prison time. And it's probably pretty much that now. So that's good. We don't have to hold on. Do you have anything for us?
Sure.
Okay, Carl, you have anything for us?
We do have speakers for an agenda.
Oh, let's go for it then.
All right. First is Allison at Library.
I was going to ask, by the way. Tell me next time.
I'm here today. I'm just one following person from another I typed out in email last week or so. Not sure if you guys see it. I'm going to make sure that you receive it first and you have talked to council members on theirs. I'm here because many people want to be increasingly informed that the actions of this immigration is important in region, and by fear and confusion, those actions are being both citizens and non-citizens alike. We're seeing it as people being not based on probable cause, but because of perceived immigration status, skin color, or simply agreeing or documenting activity, regardless of someone was born, and undermines public safety. With your help, I'm simply asking city council to engage with the Santee Sheriff's Department to provide their guidance and public education on state central. I understand state 54 limits local law enforcement's involvement in federal immigration enforcement. What remains unclear to the public, and frankly to the officer outside of San Diego County, is what to do and what role that local law enforcement can play when community members are actively calling for help. That question matters deeply. The people need assurance that when they call for assistance, preserve the peace, or protect constitutional rights, the Sheriff's Department can respond. That response should include bearing witness to ICE conduct, question their actions that appear unconstitutional and intervene when appropriate, especially with cases in lawful detention, excessive force, or abuse without regard for person relationship status. We are especially concerned by the reports of ICE stops without probable cause. These administrative rather than judicial warrants and aggressive public encounters. These practices affect the safety and trust of the entire community. The Sheriff's Department is widely regarded as professional and well-trained. Even their presence in illegal ICE contact and accountability adherence to Constitution statutes. Allowing confusion or silence at this moment increases fear and discourages people from seeking help when needed. Clear guidance, public messaging, and visible leadership will make restoring trust and making our community safer. And I believe we would become a positive role model for enforcement in other cities that they can replicate. I know we enjoy a really good relationship with our Sheriff's Department. I think that we are the leaders in that sort of thing. For what we've seen really work for other agencies going, oh, well, there's nothing here, we're just providing a buffer for what's happening behind us from the public. That, I mean, you guys have gone through post training, that really is undermining what you guys have trained for, and I worked hard for that trust. And that stuff is undermining. I believe that we can publicize more.
We're not really allowed to make a lot of comment on non-agenda, But I will say this, that regardless of whether the law enforcement agency, policy, and the state law requires police officers to take action on any unlawful action by another member of law enforcement. So like if, Mark and I are going out and we're partners and I see him starting to thump the crap out of somebody, then if I don't step in and take care of business and stop him, then I would be in violation. So that's pretty much the way you handle it here, because we don't want anybody right in violation. Is that about this? Do you get that right?
Yes, I believe it's called duty intervened.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Next speaker is Kate.
Hi everyone, I'm Kate. I work at COMPOC Rebecca and I run our youth program. So we've got Students Together Alcohol and Drugs, which is open to any teenager in East County who is interested in being involved in their community and anti-drug, anti-alcohol initiatives. We are hosting our annual Teen Issues Forum. I'd like to give you guys some information about it in case you're interested. It'll be March 13th in the Home Valley School District Room from 4 to 6 p.m. And while it's hosted in El Cajon, is put together by our youth group of teens, 5 students from Santee High School. We're very active in the Santee community. And the theme this year is mental wellness and burnout prevention. And we're going to have our students are going to present, some students from Ball High School are going to present. We're going to have a person from the county come present, and we're also going to have a resource fair where we have community resources available to teens that they might not know about in regards to mental wellness, burnout prevention, or anything that would help make their lives easier. So I wanted to bring that up to you guys in case you have students who might be interested in attending, or if you know of any resources that we should definitely be highlighting at this event, because we're